People may not want to believe this. And I always say NFL don't like distractions, dog. They don't like it. They don't like nobody bigger than the shield. A dude saying, I don't want to deal with all that comes with Shedeur.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you just
so-called baggage. That's what they keep saying.
Yeah.
yeah,
Baggage.
but that's a fact. There are people
Yeah.
that won't. There are people that don't want to deal with it because
There's several times at the quarterback position is 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 the player good enough to deal with the headache? The Johnny Manziels, even Baker Mayfield going one overall, Tim Tebow. Like these dudes come in with crazy followings and it's gonna be a distraction to the team. People gonna want them on the field.
Yeah,
So
but
we've seen it before, not to this magnitude, obviously, not even close. Even Johnny Football was crazy. I think within this past month, Shedeur done surpassed Johnny Football as far as like popularity in the sport. In my opinion, within this past month, he done
Yeah, he
surpassed him.
has.
let me respond
Um,
to that.
but what I would say is we've seen distractions still somebody still reached out and grabbed them, even though they were coming with quote unquote baggage.
I don't think you ever had a situation like this before, Rome, because what other time have you had a prospect who coach was one of the top paid coaches in college football? I mean, he has a huge megaphone, right? So there got to be concerns if things do go wrong. What Coach Prime say? And Coach
Yeah.
Prime has a huge following, and I hate to say it's a distraction, but I definitely could see there being a concern.
It was
Oh
all
yeah.
a cap,
I'm
bro.
gonna tell you what
Shador
else
had
hurt. I
big.
think I'm gonna tell you what else hurt. I don't
Who did?
believe I'll say this when he didn't perform in that combine. Like, hold up, dog, you not hurt. So why you not? I understand if you don't want to run the 40. I understand if you don't want to do the bench press or the vertical. But why are you not throwing?
Reason why
Nobody
I
Okay,
think he
throws
did that,
anymore.
y'all, and I talked about this earlier. Shedeur wasn't just playing for Shedeur. Shedeur wanted all these teams to come see him, and that's why Travis showed up to the pro day too. They wanted these other wide receivers, which all got drafted,
It
to
worked
get some
out.
kind of
Yeah, it
shine.
worked.
So he was doing that because he wanted everybody to see his teammates. That he was trying to be a team guy. That's why he
okay.
did
See how that worked out for you
Hey,
then. If
but
that's
hey,
it. Go ahead, him.
His on the field skills has nothing to do with why he failed. He failed because he's a cocky, young, successful black man. Y'all gotta understand the NFL really never seen athletes come into the league with $10 million plus, $1 million in cars and living the lifestyle that he living. So what they did was they gave him a piece of humble pie. You're not gonna put your shoes on your cliques and tell us in your vlogs or what teams you like to play with on Madden, like you just wanna
hmm?
say where you want to go. The shield is bigger than the Sanders name, and they showed him no matter what, how good you is not finna run this league. You are your daddy,
And they did more
and
than
they
That's
that.
gave him a
crazy
piece of
though.
humble pie.
They
That's
didn't
Whoa,
stop
crazy.
there.
what?
They said, then we gonna use you, abuse you, and then we gonna tool you. They ain't done.
Not,
That's
not his own,
crazy.
not. See, it can be a blessing in disguise because the people that didn't like him, now they rooting for him. You understand what I'm
Oh yeah, they
saying?
made him a martyr. They put him on a
Yeah. So,
crucifix. They
so
crucified that
you
man
got to
yesterday.
understand, he got fans. He probably had a #1 selling jersey and don't even play a game.
Oh yeah, for sure. I said that. He definitely gonna have that.
You saw
It
some
He
ain't a
got
games.
it ain't a
he got
doubt.
the president. He got Donald Trump tweeting about why he ain't picked. Now all
So
Donald Trump supporters finna be Shedeur Sanders supporters. That's how they
oh,
go.
The
oh,
agents are
let's
getting
let's say
paid.
this right here too now.
Okay.
Brian just got paid too. So when you get paid, you get a little arrogance to yourself. And Prime was just like, Shadou ain't playing for certain teams. And y'all saw how Prime talked to that guy when they was training. Like, forget him, bump him, do y'all thing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you talk to some NFL teams like that, like how he talked to New
that
York
could have
the same way. He done told that story several times about he told New York, like, when y'all picking 15, I ain't gonna be here by the end. And he walked out.
Hey,
So
and y'all know what else messed it up? That showcase they had. Man, them NFL scouts and owners out there, they like, hold on, bro. We got owners out here, and like we ain't never seen like this dude. He really controlling the game. Like we can't have this dog.
They
Like
seen
bro.
this.
That show. I got my own show. What if I come in here and I like this my show? Tiger ain't gonna have that.
Yeah.
Man, Tiger,
Yeah,
you need
I
to
get
listen to me.
that
I
part,
got more
man. I
subscribers than you. This how this
Yeah,
run. Man,
you
you
get
run. It
beside
don't work
yourself,
like that, dog.
you
Yeah.
get
Trying to
booted.
do
And
in the
I
script
think
Yeah,
circle.
Prime been having his
I
way
get
for the
that.
past 2 years. He been having
Bro,
his way. Like anything he wanted happened. Anything he said was gonna
But that
happen
ain't gonna happen in
came
the
true.
NFL though.
He been
and
no, but
bro,
listen. He been having his way for the past 2 years. So he's
Who?
in that mode that like, man, we having our way.
You gonna keep
Like
having it?
it's
But
No.
gonna
who?
happen
Who?
our way regardless of what anybody's saying. Now what the NFL had to do was show him like, now
They had to get
Dion.
their taste. What you
They
talking
even had
about?
to call him Dion. Now Dion, you know
Who?
how we get down, dog. You
Who
know
benefited from this
we
though?
all
Look,
play like that.
but look, who benefited from all of this? The NFL from all of
For
this.
sure.
The
For
NFL.
sure they
So
did.
you got to understand that wasn't an accident.
right.
No,
What was an accident?
We don't know. We know
what
it
are
wasn't
you
an
talking
accident.
about? This was a plan that took maybe 3 months to strategize. The NFL profited off of this tremendously from fans, sales, intention, endorsements, excitement, anticipation. Everybody, the whole country back watching football, and everybody watched the 7th round. I never watched past the 20th pick ever. I've watched so many drafts. I never watched past the 20th pick. I'm watching the 5th round like it's the
Yeah, I
first
guess
pick,
so.
bro.
Bro, can I
Yeah,
tell y'all this? I hate the fact that he went to Cleveland. Bro,
Man,
that's
we
where your
all hate
career
it.
goes to die.
And they make it always the lottery and this and that. But I feel like that happens in the NBA. It's easier to tell a superstar, in my opinion. When it comes to NFL, you really don't know, dog. Because most superstars are what?
hybrid.
Quarterbacks.
Well,
And
yeah,
you get the quarterback pick, they get it wrong so often it's ridiculous.
I think it's like this. You got local fans and you got national fans. The regular stars got local fans. The superstars got national fans. That's how I look at it. Like how some people just might only got fans on the team that's local. Nobody know about this guy.
Will anybody be more popular than Shedeur in the NFL this year? In y'all honest opinion? Y'all still
Nope.
think Pat Mahomes and them, they still finna be the face of the league?
Nope.
Yeah, yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Come on, dog. Bro,
You think
Shador
Shador?
not playing. Shador, bro,
Come
Shador
on.
not playing past preseason, dog. Like,
Yeah,
He
we'll
not
see.
playing. He's not playing past preseason.
I bet he played mid-season.
bro, he's not okay. All right,
You
You
gonna
think
you
he'll be
gonna bet
more
an eyebrow?
popular?
You gonna bet an
More
eyebrow?
popular than Mahomes? I can't say
better
that.
eyebrow. Better.
Bet an
You
eyebrow.
gonna tell me? Listen, at the end of the day, it's about money. You think I'm gonna pay Joey Flacco, Kenny Pickett, all this money, and pay the 5th round dude, and he not unless it's injury, unless injury. You
Nah, I
think
don't want to see
they
no
finna? You
injury.
think?
Bet an eyebrow.
Nah, you not. Come on, dog. You finna lose the eyebrow because everybody got hurt and he playing by default? Hell, nah. Come on, dog.
Wrong. You
Send me
see,
the
he want to
jersey
bet
for
that
2 days.
eyebrow though.
That was yesterday.
I did bet that eyebrow. I told you I bet that eyebrow, but not off injury though.
Nah, ain't
Bet it.
no, trying to side questions. Nah, it's
Ain't
whatever
no side
happens.
question. I'm saying he ain't gonna play this year outside of preseason, barring that everybody else get hurt.
So
Nah,
you
don't put
think
everybody
all
get hurt.
year he
You
ain't
could have
gonna
put
play?
Mo in there.
You think all year he ain't gonna play unless somebody get hurt?
You talking about? You say he gonna be more popular than Patrick Mahomes. What I'm
Mm,
saying is you got to be playing. I ain't
to
saying
be
that he gonna go
popular.
out there and get some reps, but we talking about you got to be the starter, dog. If you gonna be bigger than Patrick Mahomes,
Well, he
Okay.
already getting talked about, and he ain't get drafted.
And so you saying you don't think he gonna play all season?
that's not what
And
I said. I
with
was
the Flacco,
responding.
with
No,
these
I
people
was
But not
healthy,
responding.
on not
I
on
with
was
these people
Florida
responding.
now,
healthy.
so
See,
no.
this is why y'all that's why I talk so much because y'all don't listen.
No, I'm
I was
asking
He
because
just
I
said
didn't
responding
hear
when
you.
he
I
to
get
thought you said
healthy.
only if they get injured.
no, because I was responding
They just
to
making it.
no. What he said was, you said he gonna be bigger than Patrick, the face of the league, like
Uh-huh.
Patrick Mahomes, and I'm saying he got to play.
Yeah,
You're not gonna be the third string quarterback and be the face of the league
true.
and not be
So
on
do
the
you
bench
think
and be
he's
on the
gonna play?
bench.
Wow, Coach
So
L.
now that you just said that, do you think that he will play
Well,
if
you
these
said,
cats
well, who
don't get
said,
injured?
wow, come on, dog. That's not hate. That's for real.
I think
You're a rookie in the league. You got Joey Flacco you paid for a year. You got Kenny Pickett you just picked up. And you think he's supposed to play in front of this dude?
If it was the Cowboys and Jerry Jones said, "Bro, you playing?" What
So
like
why Jerry Jones ain't pick him up then?
if the owner say you playing,
Jerry
you
Jones said he
playing.
wasn't a good fit.
You think if the Eagles would have drafted him and he had to be a backup for Jalen Hurts, you think we'll be sitting here talking about him right now? No. Everybody knows that Shedeur has a chance to start, or not even start, but even play mid-season.
God. Okay.
He definitely
All
has
right.
a chance to. Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
has a
why
chance to
why don't
start.
why don't you think he has a chance to start by mid season, Coach Hayes? I want to know. And if you want to stick to your, it's just because of the money they spending, then that's cool. You don't got to elaborate. But if there's something else,
No, it's about it's always no, it's always about money, bro. Like this is the league. They ain't gonna pay a dude. I don't know how much they're paying Joey Flacco, and I don't
okay.
know how much they're
Before you
paying
finish,
Kenny
real
Pickett.
quick,
Mm-hmm.
why did they bench Kirk Cousins last year and they was paying him all that money?
All right.
If it's about the money and not letting the best
Mm.
guy play, why did they bench Kirk Cousins when they was paying him a whole
Listen,
lot
no
of money?
problem. No problem. Did they bench Kirk Cousins for the third string quarterback?
No,
They had
Shador.
Okay.
they
We don't
quarterback
think
room wasn't
Shador
deep.
gonna be the third string
But
quarterback.
I mean, who in the hell was on Cleveland that can't lose their
He
job?
keeps
I'm
saying he
confused.
think
Like,
Kenny Pickett gonna start over Shador,
what the hell
man.
is he? Man, come on, dog. He might
No,
not even
he
be on
been
the
a
damn
backup
team.
since he got in the league.
So,
He might not be in the team.
all right, y'all, let me chime in this because I had some internet problems over here. But this is what I think is going on, y'all. They're gonna try to embarrass and just hold down. Y'all can see the highest form of hating right now. Like how we always want to say in our community, he hating, he hating. Y'all finna really see what hating is when you got the power structure and they hate. Like they got all the keys right now. Shador don't really have. Only thing Shador can do is show up, be on time, and wait for his opportunity. And if they never give him the opportunity, he can't show himself. And guess what? His fire can die out.
No, maybe
Tiger, they
maybe
gonna have
they
to
don't.
use
No,
that
hold on,
42 million that they saved
hold on,
and
hold on,
build a
hold
new
on.
stadium if they don't get his
Maybe
brother a fair shot. Them
maybe
fans,
they
that's
don't think
one thing Shador got is the people. They'll tear that damn stadium down, dog.
that's what I was
They
gonna
Shador,
already
say.
but
Maybe
Shador
they
got
don't think
people
he
against
got
him
the.
too.
Maybe they don't think he got the
Not
keys right
Cleveland
now because he
fans.
got to go through the protocols. But as soon as that season starts and you have all them fans chanting his name, we gonna see who had the keys then.
yeah. Because they was hollering out the other guy name. That's why I brought him up on the last podcast. They was the guy that came from the Bruins. They was hollering his name. They were saying he should be playing.
Yeah. Hey,
And he
Where
Bucky.
was
never
he at?
started
What school was he
over
at?
Deshaun Watson.
This just a different level of startup. And I would minus all the bull crap, Shador can play. Like
He
this is not
can.
like we trying to get
Yeah,
y'all to put in
he can
Bronny
definitely
James,
play.
who we think still need a lot of development, and everybody cheering for him. Like we think Shador right now, if I had to go through that locker room, giving Shador a mini camp after that, I think he QB2, bro. I don't think Kenny Pickett better than him. Joe Flacco, yes. Right now, I think Joe Flacco will start over Shador. But after minicamp, I think Shador will be QB2, man.
Well, all right. So, and this is what Coach Hay was saying on the other show. Coach, they have a script of plays that they're gonna run. They can have plays where Shadur's gonna have his number one target is like an end route, right? Like a little slant. They can have a defensive coach and say, okay, on play 3, we're gonna run this slant. On y'all
Mhm.
sheet on 3, I want y'all to do a robber play. A robber play is when the safety kind of sits down up under anything that slants, anything that comes across the middle. And they can make Shedeur look bad by how they script the plays. So I'm not saying this is exactly what's going to happen, but how this draft went down, how all them men got their arm crossed and stuff in that room, it's like they're not going to try to help Shedeur be great. I think they're going to work against Shedeur the whole time. And I think it's the NFL trying to do this against the Shedeur, the Sanders name. I think it's bigger than what we think.
So is he gonna make the team or no?
Yeah, he gonna make a team and they're gonna just hold him on there until the fire burn out. They're gonna just hold him on the bench till people forget about him. I think that's what they're gonna try to do.
Well, what they doing with that, if they
Yeah,
don't let him play
fire,
and let the
fire
people
ain't going
see,
out.
the fire gonna get bigger until the people see, okay, he not playing because he not good as everybody saying he is. Like you holding on to this dude, they don't get to see him play. That fire gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger because people gonna be like, bro, we know this dude can play. Let him play. So until he plays, and we get the people get to see, oh, he ain't that good, then we understand it. But if they just holding him and not letting him showcase his talents or lack thereof, that fire gonna get bigger.
Bro,
So
Shedeur know how to keep the people in uproar, bro.
so if
If they
Pickett
don't if they
go out
don't
there
play
and
him,
win
they
some
gon'
games, or if Flacco go out there and win some games, and they fan base is happy because you got people that's loyal to their team more than they loyal to a player every day of the week.
For sure.
So if they go out
Flacco.
there and they start winning, they're gonna be like, man, forget Shedeur, we winning.
I agree. I agree. It's all about winning, but the Browns they not notorious for winning, dog.
they won like three,
They
4 games
they
though.
don't win. So it's gonna
Look,
come a time when they're the Browns and they still lose it like the Browns do every year, and they gonna be calling for Shador. But you're right. If Joe Flacco and them out there balling and they winning, they gonna be cool with that. I agree.
and this is what y'all gotta understand. They don't have to be playing lights out. They can have stuff where they throw the game. Like the end of you see how they was all in cahoots doing this draft. So they can call plays and let Cleveland get certain
Who
wins
was
that
all
ain't
in
in the
cahoots,
division.
Tiger?
They can do all this just to make it to where, okay, we don't need Shedeur. I hope it don't happen, y'all. But I've seen this kind of stuff work before when they trying to teach somebody a lesson. Like Coach Hayes said the other day, some people will lose money just for it to be done their way before they like worry about the jersey sales and the ticket sales. They will let this be a lesson to Dion and Shedeur, and y'all gonna do it our way. Anybody else think y'all gonna run stuff? We're gonna show y'all run nothing. Unless your last name Manning.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I think they tried that, and I think it backfired on them. And I truly believe like they gotta do right now because they seen what type of uproar the people were in with that little plan that they try to orchestrate or whatever. So they plan backfired on them, and I think moving forward, like it's gonna be the right thing. If the dude is good enough to play, I think they're gonna let him play.
But Jerome, I'll say this: the NFL don't care about our plan. We've seen dog. Don't nobody boycott the NFL. It's the only show in town. They don't care about that, right?
Correct. They on the day of the week.
I'm just gonna call a spade here, right? They did what they did to Colin Kaepernick. Not to be, I'm not trying to be political. I'm just saying that the kid like that dude took a knee for injustice, and they say you ain't bigger than the shield, right?
Correct. For
And,
sure.
and guess what? The league still went right along. No big deal. No problem. These guys
Yeah,
are
because
billionaires, dog. They don't like, dog. Think about it. The Browns been bad forever, and they still make money.
for sure the worst teams make money. What I'm saying is Kaepernick gave them a reason to do that. He was doing something they didn't like him doing. I think Shador and Prime and that whole Sanders family, they see that like, okay, if we want to go play for these dudes, we have to do it this way. I don't think Shador is going to give them a reason anymore to boycott him or not let him play or do him dirty. I don't think without reason the reason that they did what they did right now with the draft is because of the things
Who?
Prime them were saying, the things
Who?
Shador was saying. Like that was, I don't think he's gonna give them a reason to do that anymore. And
So
without a
what
reason,
we
I
is
haven't seen them do it to nobody without a reason.
so what you
Who
saying
is?
is Shedeur can't be
Go ahead,
Shedeur.
Tiger. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Like Shedeur can't be Shedeur no more. He can't be flashy no more. He can't do the well off videos no more. He can't.
Lamar Jackson
No,
flashed.
he can do all of that. That wasn't the problem. They was cool with Shador. If you notice, there wasn't no issues with Shador really until he was at the combine talking about if you ain't want to change the franchise, don't draft me. That's really when all this stuff started. Before then, oh yeah, Shador Sanders,
But
number one, number two. There wasn't no,
Nah, it
and
was
then
that
those
interview
meetings
with Gilly
they
and
talk about
Wallow.
he was brash and all that. So prior to that, he was popping his stuff and he popped his
but
stuff all season.
It was
He
that
put his
interview
but
with
wrist in
Coach
people's face
Prime
all
with
season,
Gilly
and
and
they were
Wallow.
saying he was a number one pick all season. He was
no,
being
no,
in.
but hold on. Like the NFL teams don't really start doing their evaluation until after the season is over and they declare, right?
That's true.
So this is the first time they really start getting them behind closed doors, start doing interviews and things of that nature.
But what I'm saying is
When
they didn't have an issue with him
When?
being Shador.
yeah, but they didn't do well. They didn't even know Shador, right? Like a
But
lot of like if you really look at like the top 5 talk and top 10 talk, that was coming from us in social media, right? That wasn't coming from the teams.
But when
And
they turn the
Mel
TV
and
on,
Mel
they see
Kiper.
Shedeur,
Yeah,
dog. When they turn the TV, because
Wait a minute,
what
man.
that
my follow up was to Tiger's question. Shedeur got to stop being Shedeur, wearing a jury, putting his watch up. They've been seeing that for 2 years, dog. That's
right,
not.
but they
They
weren't.
don't have to
But they
get in
weren't.
behind closed
Yeah,
doors
but
to
they
see
weren't
that. So what
drafted.
I'm
They weren't
saying is,
drafted. I'm sorry. Finish your point.
no, just real quickly, what I'm saying is he doesn't have to stop being Shedeur in that aspect. Now, in regards to the what he says behind closed doors and how he like that he may need to pull back on. They don't like that. But in regards to the other stuff, they saw it for 2 years and there was never any issues with it. At least
Can I
we
ask a
never heard
question?
anything about it.
Can I ask a question?
But go ahead, let
Okay.
Boosie because I interrupted.
Go
He was
ahead. Go
making a
ahead,
Nah,
man.
point.
Go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. I mean, I just think that we're fans of Shador, and we spoke among each other, and we sort of pushed him to this this top draft pick without giving the feedback of the teams. And I think when we started getting the feedback of the teams, we disagree with it, and that started the backlash. But I don't. I think we just got to be careful of just talking among each other and pushing a certain narrative and pushing players beyond the place that the decision makers ultimately place them. That's all I'm putting.
Yeah, and I think
Don't.
that's where we
But
not on the same page because I wasn't saying anything about his observation of him as a draft prospect.
Yeah.
My statement
you just
was
say
that he's
to
been
be more
Shador. He don't
professional.
yeah, he's been him for 2 years and they've been able to see that. Like they watch
All
the
right.
games, they watch TV, they've been able to see him be Shador. So I don't think that he has to stop being Shador, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I wasn't
But
But
that
necessarily
had nothing to do with
refuting
the
your point.
type
I
of
was just talking
prospect he is.
overall.
but
Okay.
but don't you think? I mean, this is a kid that's been around the game his whole life, right? Do you think that he doesn't have sense enough to know to turn it down? Do you think that? Do you
But
think
what
that do you think that he hasn't had conversations with NFL players, coaches, maybe some GMs? Oh, maybe an owner that hasn't told him something like that?
Yeah, but it cost him 40 mil, man. Like whoever
Right,
told
right,
him it too
right,
late. It done cost him
right.
$40 million now,
No,
you know.
no. My point is, I think he's been around it all his life. Now I'm hearing all this information, and I do think that some of it is that they wanted Prime, his representation, to do some things, and he didn't do it because he is. I ain't gonna say like in those rooms, but he knows the game at that level. You know what I'm saying? So he probably did not comply, and they gathered and said, "Listen, don't touch him un, until I tell you."
Yeah, I think they just misunderstood his confidence, man, because and then Shador, he's still talking the way he talking, doing what he doing, but Nike still want him. Beats by Dre still want him.
Right,
Gatorade still want him.
right.
So he felt like he could do these things and be how he wanted to be because people were still accepting him because he knows
He
who he
knows
is. His camp
better,
knows who
man.
he is, and like he's
He knows better.
they
Go
say
but
ahead,
he's a
Pep.
genuine guy and that
Mm-hmm.
there's no real issues. He's cool, but now that he got a taste of how the NFL feels about him being that way, now he understands like okay, these people are different. Like they don't really like that. They don't like me taking that approach. And if I want to play in their league, I have to tone it back a little bit. But he was just so used to being himself without any issues or being bothered by
Mm-hmm.
anybody and still getting all these deals, still getting all these endorsements. But when he saw how the NFL felt about it, it was just like a rude awakening. He's like, damn, like, okay, this is how it is. So I don't think he was
Now,
necessarily misinformed. I just think that like he hadn't experienced that before because everybody else let him be him and they still was putting money in his pocket.
all right, so let me say
Mm-hmm.
this right here. A lot of these brands let him be him because what we talked about this weekend. The
you
NFL
selling stuff.
views like it outperformed the NBA playoffs because Shadeur wasn't drafted. Soon as Shadeur got drafted, ESPN stopped covering the draft. So these brands, yeah, they're gonna hook their wagon to Shadeur because he's gonna put their product in front of people's eyes. But Coach Prime didn't want his son to go to Cleveland because what Cleveland has done to all these quarterbacks. And when Prime was kind of pointed out, oh, they don't like that. You don't tell us that we don't do our stuff the right way. Who are you to tell us we ain't doing? No, so that's when the okay, we finna make an example out of him started. So I don't know when that's gonna stop. I don't know if next year is gonna stop when the season starts and they're gonna get back to trying to win games, or Cleveland is just one of these franchises. From what I'm looking at on the board, Cleveland is just one of these franchises that don't even care about really winning. They just here because the owner had the money to buy the team, and they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
keep making their money regardless if they win or lose. I think that's who Cleveland is. Because Myers Garrett wanted to
Yeah.
leave, right? They wouldn't let him leave. Oh, we're
Mhm.
gonna pay you more money and we're gonna lock you in here. So even with Myers Garrett, he done did everything right by them. Even when he
Yeah.
for a trade, no, we're gonna make sure you stay with us. You're gonna do what we say.
Yeah. And that's how it is. And T438 said, whatever. They all act like that in that league. He is not acting any different than anyone else in that league. He's actually toned down the comparative. And you're right. But what's the difference? T438, and I don't know if it's a Mrs. or Mr., but they're already in the league. Like, if you're
Mm.
already
Yeah.
in the club, of course you go in there dancing and spilling drinks and you done paid the money. Like, it's gonna be tougher for them to get you out. But if they ain't let you in the door yet, shit, they don't have to let you in the door if you ain't got on the right type of clothes. If you ain't meeting the dress code. Now, if you in there and you done broke the dress code, they already let you in, you done paid, you settled in, you eating, it's gonna be tougher for them to get you out of there. But if they ain't let you in yet, they don't gotta let you in.
Yeah,
You
look
know
at a
what I'm
lot of
saying?
these. Look at a
Also,
lot
look,
of how these quarterbacks carried themselves before they got drafted. A lot of these quarterbacks that got cornrows and all this and that now, they ain't had that. They ain't had those tattoos and all that when they were still in college going through the
Yeah,
process.
You seen Lamar Jackson at that table looking like a little sad puppy dog, like
Yeah.
you know.
and we also gotta say this too. Now we talk about the Manning situation. His brother was in the league lighting it up at the time. His brother was like the face of the league at the time. So how do you turn down another guy that's gonna probably bring the same kind of star power? And even though Peyton Manning did the teabagging thing, it wasn't no other stuff swirling around. And
Come
when
on, dog.
hold on, what you mean? Well, come
He
on,
was
what?
he actually wasn't that good at. I mean, to me, had I'm old on this.
Tennessee.
What
You
you
talking
talking
about
about?
Eli?
Come on, dog. What? He finished third in the
Now you
Heisman
caught me
race.
off guard, man. You caught me off
No, I'm
guard.
talking about Eli.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
talking
saying
about Eli. What they did
Eli
to
finished
Eli.
third in the Heisman race. He finished
He
third in the
wasn't.
Heisman race. So for that time, he did what he had to do. So I can see how they had leverage, right? And Eli wasn't so flashy. Peyton wasn't so flashy. And they dad, he had a good career. And they were just saying, look, we want him to be somewhere else. And New York is a big market, so that's going to help the league. So I think they had a gentleman's discussion and they kind of sided with each other. Coach Prime don't really have them kind of discussions. Coach Prime just said what he gonna say and he walk out the room. And y'all deal with it. I said what I'm gonna say. That's how
Mm.
Prime do it, right?
Yeah, I don't think he can do it.
You could
I
be
think he
right,
can beat the
but
case.
he
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
I don't,
Still ain't
I
yeah.
don't
right.
know. I don't know how that man moved behind
So
bars.
that's how Prime did it when he was talking to that guy about them 40 times, right?
Oh yeah, well, he look at him as a well,
Yeah.
yeah. See that right there too. That right there, them exposing that, all of that kind of little stuff could have been them just getting their lick back, bro. Like the NFL, the NFL worse than the players. Like even how we are in the locker room. So just imagine the locker room times a billion with
Yeah.
this
Uh,
sophisticated acting. Like they
yeah.
act like players with money, but they don't
Yeah,
play.
they petty. They petty too. And if anybody try to go against them, dog, they
Oh,
will
bro, they gonna jump
they
you.
will get you
You
up out of there, man. Quick,
and
fast, and